Look at your hand right now. Whatever shade it is, it didn't look like that 70,000 years ago. Nobody's did. Be honest. Ever looked in the mirror and actually wondered, why that shade? Not just genetics. Why that shade? Where it came from? What it was doing for someone who needed it just to survive. Skin color is not ancient history. It is the most recent thing about you. And the reason it exists comes down to something killing people quietly for thousands of years. Here is where your skin came from. Before that, every human looked the same. Dark, deep brown, almost black. Not because of sun, because of survival. 2 million years ago, ancestors lost their fur. Before that, pale skin hid under dark hair, exactly like chimpanzees today. Losing that fur meant one thing: bare skin, all day, under the equatorial sun. UV radiation destroys folate, a B vitamin needed to build DNA and carry a pregnancy to term. Lab experiments show up to 50% of folate in blood breaks down in 1 hour of strong sunlight. 50%. Dark pigmentation blocks that radiation. People who had it survived to have children. People who didn't had fewer healthy pregnancies, fewer children, fewer descendants. By one point, 2 million years ago, dark skin locked in. Every Homo sapiens carried that out of Africa. Now here's where it breaks. Around 70,000 years ago, groups moved north, through the Middle East, into Europe, into Asia. The sun changed. In northern Europe in winter, there is almost no UVB reaching the ground. Dark skin, which saved them in Africa, now blocked too much. Your body makes vitamin D from UVB, on skin, not from food, from light. Without enough, bones deform. The immune system collapses. Pregnancies fail. Vitamin D controls calcium absorption. Without it, bones soften. Women died in childbirth. Narrow, deformed pelvis meant no surviving baby. This is not theory. This is bone evidence. Now you might be thinking, why not just eat more fish? Hunter-gatherers did get D from meat and fish, but not enough. Not at those latitudes. Not through a northern winter. And here is where it gets strange. This did not happen once. It happened independently. Multiple times. Europeans got lighter through one gene, SLC24A5. East Asians through a completely different one, KITLG. Evolution ran the same experiment twice and got the same answer. That is not coincidence. That is pressure. When evolution solves the same problem twice, it means the alternative was fatal. Now here's the part that should stop you. The gene for light skin in Europeans swept through populations in the last 6,000 years. Some estimates put it as recent as 6,000. On evolutionary timescales, that is not gradual. That is an emergency. People with dark skin in Northern Europe were dying before they could leave children. Not metaphorically, literally. Rickets twisted children's bones into curves. Deficiency killed pregnancies before birth. Immune systems failed through the winter. Researchers found rickets deformities in prehistoric bones from sites across Northern Europe, over 8,000 years old. Children dying before reproductive age, leaving nothing. The ones who randomly had slightly lighter skin made it through. Their children survived, and their children's children, for 400 generations. That is your recorded history, 4 times over. And then there is Cheddar Man. In 1903, workers found a skeleton in Gough's Cave, Somerset, England. He died in his 20s, 10,000 years ago. In 2018, UCL and the Natural History Museum sequenced his full genome. He had dark to black skin, curly dark hair, blue eyes. He lived in what is now England, 10,000 years ago. That's 300 generations back. Pale eyes entered Europe thousands of years before pale skin did. What you picture when you think ancient Britons is almost certainly wrong. It gets stranger still. For most of human history in Europe, the majority had dark skin. That changed only 3,000 years ago. That's not ancient. That's Cleopatra. Sound familiar? Think about your shelf this morning. You put on sunscreen, or you skip it, and you darken. That darkening is not damage. It's the same program your ancestors ran. Your skin doesn't know where you live. It knows UV. That's all it's ever tracked. Here's the key. Neanderthals had this problem too. In 2007, researchers sequenced the MC1R gene from Neanderthal remains in El Sidrón, Spain, and Montelicini, Italy. The mutation reduces melanin activity, not found in 3,700 modern humans tested. A unique solution. Same pressure, different line. The Neanderthal MC1R mutation is unique. It never passed to modern humans. They solved the same problem, separately. 2 species, 1 pressure, 0 coordination. Light skin evolved at least 3 separate times. 3 times. Same answer. Because there was no other answer. Let's go back to the equator. In equatorial Africa, too little melanin lets radiation destroy folate and wreck cell repair. Dark skin at the equator. Light skin, north. The same logic, opposite directions. Your body is running that calculation right now, not consciously, chemically. When UV hits skin and damages DNA, your cells signal for more melanin. Not in years, in days. An ancient emergency system, still running, in your skin, right now. Skin color is the youngest feature you have. Younger than your eye color, younger than your height, younger than your brain size. It didn't exist as we know it until farming was spreading across the Middle East. The farming revolution changed everything about diet. Less vitamin D from fish and meat. More grain, more deficiency, which made lighter skin even more necessary. Think about what you had for breakfast. If it was grain, you're running the same deficit. That reshaped the skin of an entire continent. Up to 1 billion people. Low D today. Same problem. New address. 1 billion. Dark-skinned people in cloudy northern climates have the highest rates of D deficiency worldwide. Your body is doing what it evolved to do, in the wrong place. Your body isn't confused. It is precisely calibrated for a place your ancestors left long ago. The mismatch is not a flaw. It's the gap between how fast you moved and how fast evolution could follow. You moved in 1 generation. Your DNA is still catching up. That gap has a name. Evolutionary mismatch. It shows up everywhere humans moved fast. Lactose intolerance, myopia, chronic back pain. Skin mismatch is 1 of 100. People today who moved from the tropics north, their bodies are still running the original program. Same hardware that kept ancestors alive in Africa. Same hardware now blocking the light they need. Not broken. Running what it was built for, just in the wrong place. That is what skin color actually is. Not a category, not a permanent setting. A dial, set by survival, pointing at a sun we no longer live under. Your skin is not your identity. It's your ancestors' answer to a geography problem they left behind. One last question. If you woke up tomorrow, matched to the UV where you actually live, what would that actually look like for you? Be honest. I read every single one.